But
robbery,
yeah, we got one of our points. I want to just ask you a question real quick, Alvin.
This is live.
If we can. This is live. So yeah, let's bring. So Alvin, first of all, yeah, he did an episode with us. So Alvin, he's the brainchild for this whole situation. Him and his partner Kwame, they're huge, super humble guys, but they're huge real estate developers. They're like titans of industry. And he's also was in the music industry for a long time. But long story short, he's from Ghana. He's Ghanaian. So you said something to me. You said something to me that was really insightful because, you know, sometimes when we post stuff, the feedback that we get as Americans from people in America is like, why would you go over there? Like, you colonizing and like they don't need you over there. And like, it's like a bad thing. Like, we're taking advantage of the situation. And you said something that was insightful. You was like, I'll let you say it, but you like, yo, people come from other countries all the time. And like, y'all come, like y'all actually assimilate. Y'all don't exclude yourself. So why would they say these things? I don't understand why they would say that.
Yeah, I think it's just lack of information and lack of education between, you know, as usual, Black people. It's not only African Americans that come to Ghana. Like, you've been to the airport, you've seen an influx of Chinese, you've seen an influx of, you know, Caucasians and people from all over Europe. So I think it's just the way we're programmed naturally to just not get along. It's just so it's easier to hate first, and it's like hate first, ask questions later. You know, so I just think that's why this project is more important to me than real estate, because when people see us actually doing things together and in the spirit of brotherhood, it just makes them understand like a lot more could be done. Like, real estate is just the first step. And just the fact that we were able to come together and do something of this magnitude in the first move. I mean, I can't even imagine what we're going to be doing 10 years from now.
But can you speak to like specifically Black Americans that, cause like I was telling him, we met like at least 5 people from America that moved to Ghana, right? And they all like, it's vibes. Like they've assimilated inside the culture. Yeah, I mean, they're not like trying to plant the American flag here, right? Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, if you go to a country, you learn the way of the people, and if it resonates with you, you can stay. Like, there's no one here trying to impose any cultural differences. Everyone is just learning. Everyone is trying to understand each other. I mean, we're also not that much different. Like, you know, to be fair, like, it's not like you come to Ghana and you got to eat some weird stuff you've never seen before. Or it's not like it's not like it's a blood oath that makes you African. It's just, you know, people just want to always find a problem. Like, there's things that if the things I see in New York that I'm like, oh, okay, I can see how that could be, you know, related to stuff from Ghana, you know. Yeah. So like, I just think there's this lack of education, and sometimes people just want to hate on everything.
That's the thing too. Before you, like, cause now people say like, don't impose your culture when you come out there. Like, the culture's already here. Like, it's all interwoven.
Yeah, we all rap, there. We all dance. we all rap and we all dance. We all eat rice and peas. So it's the same thing.
Can we dispel the myth that Africans don't want African Americans there? Because I feel like that's done to stop us from unifying.
I mean, I really hate Rashad and Troy. That's why we're in Ghana. I hate these guys so much. Like, I hate them so much that we building something together. Like, I despise them. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I just think that the larger notion is to try and always just disqualify the connection between all Black people. That's what it is. And so obviously you have the few people that don't really contribute to anything that talk so much. And then it becomes like, it's not even trendy, to be honest. Like, those who are really at the top collaborating are collaborating, you know? So let's just keep it a buck.
That's a fact. And then can you talk about wealth in Africa? Because we started the program with some unfortunate situations, but there is wealth, right? I mean, you talking about before, like, you came to America and you was like, no, that's not wealth. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, talk about people like that's owning beaches and owning.
Like, the way wealth is in Africa is different. Like, you have people that are born into owning acres of land. Like, that's just from day one as a baby. Like, you know, they're just born into owning, you know, like all kinds of things. And, you know, if you look at it, you know, I went to school with people from the Ashanti region, and naturally they're entrepreneurs. Like, that's the thing from the Ashanti Kingdom. Like, they pass down wealth from generation to generation. In Ghana, we have a lot of really wealthy women as well. Like, so even coming to America, like, learning how female entrepreneurs were perceived of it, that was a little confusing for me, because where I came from, there are a lot of really wealthy women, So I just think that there has to be a more dialogue, really. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't know, you don't know, right? It's one of those things, and it's not a secret. You just got to ask the questions.
Yeah, I got one thing, because when we walked on the land the other day, we were standing next to each other, and kind of had a moment where it was like, this is pretty surreal. But what was really impressive was about who was building it, right? You said, yo, Troy, this is 1,000 jobs for our community. Yeah. Talk about that. Talk about Joseph, the master engineer, because people need to hear these stories, because they'll look at it and say, oh, we brought somebody else in to do this. But nah, man, somebody you went to high school with.
Yeah, Joseph went to my high school. He was a couple years behind me, and he literally is the master engineer on the project. And he's actually, before this project, he actually was the master engineer on other projects of repute in Ghana. Like, he was part of a major stadium development in Ghana. So when we met Joseph and we were like, oh, you went to our high school, it was even like more, it just felt better, right? And then on top of that, like, the way he just mobilizes the men is amazing. We created more than 1,000 jobs, and everyone has bought into the vision of it. So some of them don't even want to go home. Like at Christmas, we were like, you guys, it's cool. You can go home to your families. They were like, nah, man, we have a deadline, and they want to stay. Over 1,000 jobs have been created from this. We'll probably create more jobs when we go into the next phase, which is more houses. But more importantly, we also want to build a different community for all these guys, because they still want to be around when it's all said and done, so they could also be part of the community, for sure.
Alvin, appreciate it, my brother.
Thank you guys. We got to go to dinner, though. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it,
Mondays.
That's a fact. This is a legend, y'all. This is an absolute legend.
And what's so crazy too is that I was running on the street the other day, 7 o'clock in the morning, and the guy stopped me, and he's like, yo, I've been listening to you guys for 5 years. Then he starts having a whole conversation about how in Ghana, they don't have the same access to the American brokerages. So he's like, yo, I can't invest in a lot of these stocks because, like, Charles Schwab and Fidelity, I can't open an account because I'm a Ghanaian citizen. So then he starts talking about crypto. Long story short, tapped in, super tapped in. So all over the world. So I'm glad that he was still here, because I just wanted to say that. So Somber City, I just wanted to dismantle some myths. It's not for just Black Americans, it's for anybody. But of course, we would love for Black Americans to come, but it's for people in the diaspora. And the diaspora is all over the world, right? And local people as well, local Ghanaians. Some people say, like, the price is not affordable. It's 15% lower than anything that's on the market. That's another thing too. They like, why you? So one of his partner, Kwame, he's reading the comments. Somebody was like, why are you charging this much? He was like, imagine charging real estate prices in Ghana. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way y'all thinking about this, like, yo, these people have means. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we charging % lower than what any other construction comparable is. So it's not unaffordable. And it's not colonialism. Working with them. It's not about imposing your culture. Like I said, everybody, the culture's already here. Listen to the music. Everything is all vibes. Like, so a lot of times
the vibe is better there.
Exactly. So a lot of times I just come from ignorance, man. I just, I think everybody should just get out and travel. But if you have not done anything, you should not be speaking, because what you might do is negatively affect somebody else. People are impressionable. So, you gotta speak from firsthand experience. But we are in Ghana. If you've seen what we put on Instagram, it's amazing to see the development.
66 days?
30% complete in 66 days. So
different. It's a different level of engine to see it, right? To see, like, we walked in and I'm like, with the mom, I'm like, yo, Shotty, you standing on your street right now, bro. he was like, wait, what? I'm like, yo, this is your actual street. To see it, to see the engineering, and obviously we're building homes, and so to see the intricacies that are being put into this, it's masterful. Like, this isn't just residential. Like, the way this is being built is from an industrial standpoint for a residential home, and so these guys are just incredible. Like, there was a team that came here that was advising them, and they were like, there's no need for us to be here. Like, you guys are masters at this, and you're doing an incredible job. I just can't wait for people to. This is phase 1, and we're 30% done, and about another 60 days. I want y'all to see what has actually been brought to life, man. It's going to be exciting.
Going back to efficiency, if we have did the same thing in the States, how much longer would it have taken?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, how much longer, how much more money would it have cost? It would have been red tape. No way you can get. I've been building a house for 2 years. There's no way you could build a community
One
in
house.
66 days.
Yeah,
So broaden your horizons, stay positive. That's important. Everybody stay positive, right?
Don't critiquing without creating. It's a lot of y'all online to do that. Some
people have a problem for every solution. So, but man, just wanted to thank everybody in Ghana. It's just very welcoming, a very welcoming society, very peaceful society, and hospitality through the roof. So
y'all even look happy. I ain't gonna lie.
And the food is incredible. He left that part out. The food is absolutely incredible. Yeah. I know y'all put a list up, but y'all did domestic. But if I had international, this would probably be number one, bro.
Yeah,
this is my number one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ghana. All right. Now, before we wrap.